Hi guys. So I have people message me all the time wondering about my health journey, where I went, what I did, and I know I talk about what I was 10 months ago, but I don't think I've ever really talked about when it all started and stuff like that. So a lot of people ask me all the time, so I thought I'd just make a live video because, I don't know, this might help someone. So I'll try not to make it too long, and I'm not going to tell you all the details because I don't even remember them all, but basically I got sick my junior year of high school. I went through a super traumatic breakup when I was in high school that ultimately led me, it's called the perfect storm. I had a breakup, we moved into a new house that had new carpet, new paint, I got a new mattress, and all those things, if you don't know, give off gases that can put your limbic system, which is a part of your brain, into a state of shock. And I didn't know this at the time, but I do know this now. So I started feeling tired and just really, I was always getting sick. I just woke up one morning and my throat hurt so bad. And so I went to my pediatrician, and I was tested for mono, and it was negative at first, but then it came back 4 days later and it was positive. And they're like, okay, just don't do as much activities. I was on the dance team at the time, so they had me do 2 days off or something. I cannot tell you all the details, but basically doctors don't really know how to treat mono, and it put me into a state of relapse. And because I was working, I wasn't resting. I was working out, and that is just not something you should do when you have mono. You need to rest for your body to heal. So after that, I seriously could not tell you the timeline, so I'm just going to give you a gist. I was 17, I was diagnosed with fibromyalgia, arthritis, and about a year later I was officially diagnosed with Lyme disease. And Lyme disease is a very complex thing to understand if you don't know about it. Most people think of being bit by a tick, but I was never bit by a tick, I was never bit by anything, I never had the bullseye rash, but somehow Lyme disease came back positive on a blood test, my second blood test. And before that, they thought it was gene mutations, leaky gut, candida overload. I mean, I have literally been diagnosed with a million bajillion things that I don't even care to list off because they're so insignificant now. I went to a place called Hansa Center in Kansas. It's literally like heaven on earth. The doctors are so kind-hearted, and I just love being there. But the Hansa Center, when your brain gets stuck in a trauma loop, which is what happens when your limbic system is in a dysfunction. Sorry, there's hairs on my face. Your body is unable to heal no matter what you do if your brain is stuck. And this does not just apply to diseases, this applies to PTSD, depression, anxiety, so many things. So I was basically living the life of a sick person. That's all I talked about. I had extreme pain, I had shingles, nerve pain, damage. I mean, I cannot even tell you. Basically I was just a ball of pain all the time, and migraines, and just, I did not like my life. So I went to the Hansa Center, and they helped me a bit. When I was there, I felt really awesome. They helped some of my lymphatic drainage problems go away. I stayed there for 2 weeks, my first time going, and then I went about 6 months later for 1 week. And after my second visit, I was just not feeling 100%. I was I just expected more, and I couldn't ever understand why nobody could help me. I went to specialists, and I mean, everywhere. I cannot even name or count the amount of doctors I've been to. So that fall, after 6 months after I went to Hansa, I went to a doctor in Dallas who said he could help me. He said, I've been treating people like you for 20 years, this is no problem at all. So I trusted him. I believed it, because you don't want to go into something not believing it will, it's not, you don't want to think it's not going to work, because then it won't work. So I believed in 100%. I was like, I'm gonna trust this guy, like, let's do it. So he had a machine called the Rife machine, and some of you aren't gonna really understand what I'm talking about, but basically it uses frequency and energy to treat a specific thing in your body. So he diagnosed me with lupus, and so I googled lupus symptoms, and all of a sudden I had all of them, which I didn't have before. But as soon as I googled it and looked it up, I thought I had it, and I thought I felt every symptom of it. So he was treating me for lupus through the Rife machine, and you basically hold these little like light bulbs in your hands. This is going to sound crazy to you guys that don't really know natural medicine, but it's connected to a machine, and it gives you sends the frequency to your body to treat that that disease or whatever you're treating. So my first time I was on it, I don't know, for like 45 minutes. And whatever that machine did, whatever it killed off, whatever it did to my body, I was like so severely sick for like 4 days. I couldn't walk. I couldn't be in the sunlight. I had to wear sunglasses. I had migraines to the point where I couldn't even open my eyes. I mean, I was just so ill. My nose didn't stop running, seriously, for 4 days. Just complete detox. I was so sick, and my muscles hurt so bad I couldn't walk. So I continued going to this doctor, getting colonics, getting LED light therapy, ozone therapy. I mean, I've done everything you can imagine. At one point I even had a PICC line in my arm, and I was getting IVs twice a week. And if you don't know what a PICC line is, it's like this little thing. I don't know if you'll be able to see it. I have a scar right here underneath where I put Warrior, but it goes straight to your heart, so you can get the IVs easier and faster. But so I was going to this doctor, and I stayed with him for about 2 months. I went all in. I was taking an extreme amount of supplements and remedies that he'd make specifically for my body. But I was at the point where I was 21 years old. I couldn't do anything. I was literally bedridden. I was in so much pain. I mean, I cannot even explain to you how much pain I was in, and I have a very high pain tolerance, especially now. But this isn't my life. Like, this wasn't what my life was supposed to be like. So this guy that actually reached out to me through Instagram a long time ago had been sending me these texts like, please read this, please watch this video, but I just couldn't imagine that this could actually help me. So it's a program called DNRS. It's Dynamic Neuro Retraining System, and it's by a lady named Annie Hopper, who herself was sick with extreme limbic system dysfunctions. She literally cured herself when she was living on a boat because light and phones and everything in the world just bothered her so bad that she had to get away. So she was living on a boat with her dog, and she created this program. And at first I was like, okay, like, I'll give it everything I have, like, why not? Like, every other doctor has made me feel so sick to the point where I just was surprised that I was alive every morning when I woke up. So I bought the program. It's funny because it was only $300, and I cannot tell you how many thousands and thousands we had spent at going to doctors, because when you go through natural treatment, they don't take insurance because insurance doesn't cover that. So I bought the program for $300, put it on my credit card because I just wanted to try it. I watched a video of this girl who had POTS, which is kind of complicated to explain, but basically she couldn't sit upright because her heart would start beating really fast, and so she was in a reclined wheelchair. And I watched her, how she did this program, and she had like a lot of the diagnoses I had, and like 6 months later she was rollerblading. Her video is called Wheelchair to Rollerblades, and I was like, that is insane. Like, I literally remember watching it with my mom, and like I got teary-eyed because like I just kind of imagined, like, what if that could be me? What if like, seriously, like, when I was going to the doctor I was going to right before I tried this, I was on a diet where I basically couldn't eat anything. Like, I was so miserable, and I lost like 20 pounds in 2 weeks, which is like so insanely unhealthy. Like, I was just so weak, and I was just so tired of being sick, and I just bought the program. And what DNRS is, I'm gonna give you a gist. Basically, you have to train and teach yourself to stop your subconscious thoughts. So I'll give you an example. Basically, like, let's say you stub your toe. Your immediate reaction is, oh my God, that hurts so bad, I'm so annoyed. And then let's say you're annoyed at that, and then you walk out of your room and you trip. Like, you're just gonna keep getting angry and angry. So first, if you stub your toe, your immediate reaction would be like, it's okay, it doesn't hurt, I'm fine. Like, there's a few ways you go about it, but that might be a bad example. So I'll just use an example on myself. So I would basically be in pain 24/7. I mean, like, literally nonstop. So instead of thinking about the pain, instead of talking about the pain, instead of telling my parents about the pain, I would have to stop myself from thinking about it. Or if I got anxiety, I would have to shut it down. Like, any negative thought, anything pertaining to my sickness, I would have to shut it down as soon as it went into my mind. And this takes a lot of practice, and anyone could do it for anything, no matter what ailment you have. So when you practice every day, you practice an hour a day for 6 months. And in that time, you spend time telling yourself to stop. Your brain is ultimately the healer. So you tell yourself to stop. Stop, stop, stop. You say, my brain is stuck in a rut and is sending my body false messages, which it was, and it had been for years, because the things I were diagnosed with are not real things that I should have been diagnosed with. It was just basically a doctor telling me, this is what it is, and it wasn't. That's not what it was. So, and then I spend about 15 minutes talking about something that makes me happy now, and something that would make me happy 6 months from now. And I cannot tell you from where I was how hard of a thing that was. Talking about something that makes me happy when all I felt was pain and anxiety and depression and had no friends, and just like, really, I just didn't like my life. The best part of it was Marcus and my family and my dogs, but even if you're in pain, it's hard to enjoy the things that make you happy. So I got on a call with a coach, and she said, I know it's hard, and I was there too, but you have to fake it until you make it. You have to make up happy thoughts and just let your brain think it's what would make you happy. So, I made up all kinds of things, date nights and movies and road trips and whatever it was, but I had to fake being happy until I started to feel it. And then when I talked about the part where something that would make me happy 6 months from now, all I did was talk about the things that make me happy in Florida, living in Florida, moving to Florida, driving to Florida, whatever it was. And it's crazy because I started this in January and nobody in my family was even considering moving to Florida, and now I live in Florida. So I spent about 3 months struggling during the program, just trying to get my brain to stop its reactions. And it's so crazy because whenever you do something like this consistently, and like, I wasn't thinking about anything that I didn't like I did the best I could every single day. And at some point, my symptoms and my pain, it just slowly started to fall away. And so when I found out we were moving to Florida, we moved here in August. So I did the program, I started in January, so it had been 8 months since I started. And I thought, okay, yeah, I want to move to Florida because maybe I'll get to 100% when I move there, because I've always been to Miami. We have a condo there. And when I'm in Miami, I feel amazing. The frequency from the ocean and the ions and everything, just when you're by the ocean, can literally heal you. So when I was there, I'd have no symptoms and I'd feel so amazing. So I was like, yes, please, like, I want to move to Florida, like, let's go. So I got to Cape Coral, which is in the Gulf of Mexico, and I felt the same that I did in Texas, which was kind of disappointing. When I left out, I guess I was like probably 80%, and when I say 80%, like, there's just little things that were not completely healed. I still had like nerve pain in my spine, arthritis, my bones were still out of place because I used to suffer from my ribs constantly being out of place, every single one of them, especially my top ribs. They'd poke up. It's called your first rib. And so my muscles were all out of whack. my shoulders were raised up like this and curved forward. I mean, I was just like a little like rock. Like my body was just so tense. And so I found a chiropractor here who is amazing and knows exactly how I heal myself, which is hard to find when it comes to a doctor. And he, instead of forcing your body to adjust and make it stay in place, he only does what your body allows him to do, which is crazy, because when I used to get adjusted in Texas, my chiropractor would spend time putting every single one of my ribs in place with a little machine. Like, it's just literally like this, and she put every single one in place, front and back. And already having nerve damage and already having inflammation, already being in extreme pain all the time, that was really hard. Like, that was traumatic. Like, I'd be in tears, and I went to her twice a week. So I love that this doctor didn't force your body. And so I started going to him 3 times a week, and they spend time adjusting you, and then you get trained. And so first I started off with just like stretching and just stuff that was really hard for me. And then slowly and slowly I would progress, no matter how hard it was. I'm the type of person that when I do something, I'm not going to give up, no matter what. And so no matter how hard it was for me to lift the weights, or to try and strengthen my fingers or my wrists, or how hard it was to do push-ups, even if I was completely shaking, like, I was still gonna do it. So I went full in, and I've been to him like 26 times now since I moved here, which is a lot. But I swear to you, I've probably gained 15% closer to being 100% since I moved here. And it's not because of where I am. It's because I started doing things that I thought would be hard for me, like working out and strengthening my muscles. And ultimately my body was just still suffering the results of what I dealt with before. And I needed to address that, but it was something scary for me. So I try to work out as much as I can, and I get adjusted and stuff. And my body is just getting better and better every single day. It's actually really crazy. One second. Honey, stop. Freaking dog is chewing the fence. And so one thing, like, people always ask me, like, how did you do it? And like, it's hard to relate to someone once they've already done it. But I promise you, I was like the picture child of someone that the doctors couldn't fix. Like, I'd go into doctors and be like, oh, I don't know what to do with you. Like, I would literally always hear that all the time. Like, I was the odds. Like, nobody knew how to help me. And I guess the one thing that probably helped me the most was joining the company I work for, It Works. I mean, I joined just to help Marcus with bills, but it turned out being the company that distracted me, that was the positive light in my life, that gave me the most amazing friends, that gave me way more than I could have ever thought from a job. And it was just the most amazing distraction. Like, even in my hardest days and my hardest times and trying to retrain my brain, I was with my friends at Starbucks, and we were working, or we were going out on the weekends and going country dancing, or whatever it was. Just being around people that were positive and that didn't constantly look at you like a sick person, it just helped me so much. And I'm not saying that you have to join this company to heal yourself from illness, but it was the most amazing light in my life. And like, I couldn't have done it. Like, I can't imagine doing what I did without the company and the friends and everything like that. And Susanna, stop. And like, even if I'm not the rank that I've been working for so long, I just feel so lucky to have these people, because I wouldn't have known any of them if it wasn't for this job that I work. And not only did I start working it, but I started using the products, and that's actually huge for me, because someone that was on like so many supplements, like, I don't know, like 50 a day, and like remedies and stuff, like, stuff never worked for me, ever. I promise you, like, again, like I said, I was the odds, nothing would ever work for me. And I started using our greens, which detox you and give you 12 servings of fruits and veggie. I did the cleanse. I have the shake every morning for breakfast. And these products make me feel amazing. They make me so less bloated. It got rid of my fibromyalgia symptoms. I mean, like, just truly feeding my body what it needs in a natural way, but then also just living a life of positivity is how I did it. I just do not indulge in negativity at all. Like, I know you guys have probably seen that I got a job at a gym, and I actually quit yesterday. And I know you might think I'm a quitter, which I'm actually not, but the people there, their vibe was just negative, and they didn't like their life. And like, I can't help people any more than I can just being nice to them every day and stuff, but I can't, you know, teach everyone how to live a life of happiness and to just change it if they're not happy. But just these people's vibes were just so negative and unhappy, and I just not to sound rude, but I just didn't really care to indulge or be around those people. Yeah, I got a free gym membership, which was really cool, but they were just like already gonna try and take advantage of me, and I'd rather be my own boss, because like, I want control over my life, because I felt like that's something I didn't have for so long, and now I have it. And I get to decide when I wake up every morning. I get to decide how much money I make, and I get to help people along the way, which is like so amazing. Like, yeah, I might be helping people get gym memberships if I work there. When I worked in the pharmacy, I'm helping people get their prescriptions. Sorry, my throat's getting scratchy, but I genuinely get to help people with making money, and like with getting like amazing products that help them lose weight or feel more confident, or like even just like not having migraines anymore. Like, that's what the greens has done for so many people. And honestly, I could talk about every single product and why they're so amazing for a very long time, but like, I just love doing it. Like Susanna, I would not have known Susanna if it wasn't for this company. She was in band with my boyfriend, but I didn't know her, and she watched me for so long, watched my journey, and now she makes like amazing money for her baby, and her husband's doing this too, and all the money that her husband makes with this while he's overseas, they're putting into a savings account for her daughter one day, who's the most cutest baby I've ever seen. But I get to help people like that, and it just makes me so happy. And I guess my point of this whole video is that if you're unhappy, you ultimately have the power to change your life. You are in charge of your life, and if you don't like the way it's going, do something different. Change. Just, that's all you have to do. And live a life of happiness and positivity, because that might sound crazy, but I used to be so depressed and have so much anxiety, and I was deathly ill. But I'm here today, and it's all because of positivity and God and this amazing business that just dropped right into my lap and said, here you go, from God. And I just want you to know that if you are not happy in your life, like, I know how that is, and I genuinely pray for you every single day that you just wake up one morning and you decide to change it. And if you need help, I'm happy to help you, or just watch this video, because I never thought what I did was possible, but I did it, and I'm here today. So thanks for watching, guys, and I love you, Susanna, and everyone have a great day.